Good afternoon, Japan. Good afternoon, rest of the world. My name is Kaz. I'm a Japanese entrepreneur who recently moved to Singapore at the end of 2021. The Singapore government made another change against the COVID-19 restrictions starting on April 26th. The government starting to loosen up the restriction against COVID-19. Do you know what's happening next? If so, let's get started. Okay, so before I went back to Japan, Singapore government decided to change the law to wearing the mask outside. It became optional. Yesterday, the government announced another new announcement, and then starting on April 26th, every time when we enter the restaurant or the mall or any facility, we have to use check-in by using the Trace Together app. That's no longer required. So that every time when you go to the mall, no more security guard checking the Trace Together app. That's going to be removed. I guess the government knows that over 80% of the population is now fully vaccinated with the booster shot. So I guess the check-in is no longer required. That's what I'm thinking. So that I think right now, every restaurant, every mall, the security guard is checking the Trace Together app to make sure that it's fully vaccinated. I think that starting on April 26th, the security guard is not going to be removed, I think. And then another thing is pre-departure PCR test is going to be no longer required. So that right now, before I went back to Japan, I had to take the PCR test 72 hours before I fly back to Japan. That's going to be removed so that I don't even have to take a PCR testing before I travel to somewhere else. That's huge. If I go to any other country outside Singapore, for example, if I go to Malaysia, or if I go to any other neighboring countries, I don't even need to take that PCR testing before that. So that's huge advantage. So that's a big change. So no more check-in by tracing together app, and also the no more PCR testing before we travel. But still, inside the facility, you still have to wear the mask. That didn't change at this moment. So you still have to carry the mask and outside when you do exercise or walking. You don't need to wear the mask, but when you go inside, you still have to wear the mask. So you still have to carry the mask. But at least what I'm happy about is no more PCR testing before you travel, and no more check-in. Because sometimes, oh shit, I forgot my smartphone, and then I cannot go into the mall. So I gotta go back to the room and get the phone and then come back. So wherever you go, you have to have an app. That's not gonna be required anymore. So as you can see, Singapore government is aggressively changing policy about COVID-19 in a good way. They are trying to loosen up the restriction. So Singapore government has been known for one of the most strict country against COVID-19. Last year around this time, 21 days hotel quarantine in order to travel to Singapore kind of thing. So it cost a lot of money before traveling to the Singapore. Now it's pretty much free travel. I hope the Japanese government is going to also try to loosen up the border very, very soon, because you cannot close the border forever because COVID is still happening even though the border is still closed, so that you kind of have to cope with the Omicron, I think. That's what the Singapore government is doing. Anyway, that's kind of new upcoming changes in the Singapore situation. So if you are interested in coming to Singapore, I think by summer, I think it's probably going to be totally go back to before pandemic situation, I think. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my video today, and if you enjoyed today's video, please thumbs up, and then I hope you subscribe my channel and click the notification bell so that you get notified when I upload new video. Please also follow my Twitter, because I'm talking about the life in Singapore. And again, thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I hope I see you guys tomorrow. Bye.